From the rainy season to the dry season. From treetops to the ground. From day to night, a game of survival, challenges, competition, and propagation is endlessly being played here. This is the tropical rainforests of Hainan in Hainan province, China, where everything is connected. Every morning, mellifluous chirping can be heard above the canopies of Hainan's tropical rainforests. These sounds come from Hainan gibbons, and they only live in this part of the world. This primate is unique to the Chinese island of Hainan, where it has lived for at least 10,000 years. The Hainan gibbon spends almost all of its life under the canopies of trees, more than 10 meters high, where food is plentiful and it can escape danger with its rapid movement. With this in mind, the strategy of many rainforest organisms is to make the trees their homes. This is known as adaptive evolution. As of 2023, there are only 37 Hainan gibbons left in the world, making it a critically endangered species. The mature male and 2 golden-furred females are the parents of this rare gibbon family, consisting of 6, with 3 children. The youngest is less than 3 years old and is just starting to leave his mother to become more independent in the trees. There is a reptile species that has also chosen the trees as a prime location to live. The spotted flying lizard, which is capable of gliding from tree to tree, is ready to leave his territory and embark on a rainforest quest for love. His heart for love by spreading his ribs to form a set of wings, which can reach up to 50 meters in a single glide. There's also another kind of ant that, unlike their dirt-dwelling relatives, aspires to great heights. Frequent precipitation in the rainy season constantly penetrates the soil. In the humid environment, Asian weaver ants choose to set up base on the branches of tall trees. They are highly intelligent and build their home with layers of leaves. From Hainan gibbons to Asian weaver ants, all kinds of animals use their unique talents to carve out a living space for themselves in the rainforest. The young gibbons play together on tree branches whenever they can. Through this process, they familiarize themselves little by little with the space in the trees and hone their skills for living at an elevated height. The favorable climate and good ecological conditions of the area also nurture a great variety of birds that occupy the upper layers of the rainforest, along with creatures such as Hainan gibbons. From top to bottom, a high density of diverse species share the multi-layered, three-dimensional space of this rainforest. As night falls and the temperature drops to around 25 degrees Celsius, it's the perfect time for many animals to get out and about. A leopard cat is on a stealth mission. Although it's only about half a meter long, it's one of the best hunters in the rainforest. The slow-moving Chinese porcupine has a poor sense of smell and sight, and its clumsy movements make a lot of noise. The leopard cat has discovered it. But the porcupine has also sensed this uninvited guest, and it begins to tighten its muscles, which leads to its needle-like quells standing up all over its body. The leopard cat doesn't like the look of that. In close combat, the sharp quells would cause severe damage to the cat's face. The leopard cat knows better and leaves. No harm, no foul. Encounters in the dark jungle are always a challenge of the unknown. The space above the dense undergrowth has a relatively open view, and its inhabitants see the tree trunk as a perfect place to live. A team of Asian weaver ants can be seen carrying supplies to their home in the tree. A lesser brown scorpion, which was hidden in a crack in the tree trunk, has been awakened by the food-carrying brigade. And it doesn't take these little bugs seriously. However, for Asian weaver ants, it is not a neighbor they didn't want to disturb, but an unexpected source of food. The ants do not think twice to attack the scorpion. The vanguard of the ant army has already pinned down the lesser brown scorpion. More and more Asian weaver ants arrive to the hunting ground to attack from all sides. There are even worker ants that specialize in neutralizing the scorpion's stinger. What this group of small creatures have that makes them so formidable is teamwork and organization. And of course, the formic acid they inject into their prey helps too. There isn't an invertebrate on this tree that can match the Asian weaver ant mob. With a knack for getting out of all sorts of trouble, the spotted flying lizard can move freely through the forest, which comes in pretty handy for a lonely heart looking for love. Unfortunately, today he encounters a fellow male lizard, and he looks bigger and stronger than him. This small lizard is only 10 centimeters long, but he is very territorial. He will never allow another male lizard to be on the same tree as him. To keep his dignity, the spotted flying lizard can show no weakness. He inflates his dewlap under his throat as if planting his flag to declare war. But he's just hoping he can intimidate him. He knows he can't beat him in a straight fight. Luckily, the spotted flying lizard can glide, so he can at least leave with his dignity intact. Love is a funny thing. At another tree around the corner, the spotted flying lizard finally meets his true love. This female is beautiful and unattached. Now, she only has eyes for him. With most reptiles, males and females stay together only briefly during mating season. But spotted flying lizards stay together long after mating, not allowing a third adult lizard to share the tree with them. Compared to the environmentally complex lower part of the rainforest, the highest part, where the canopies are, is a safer place for many animals to live. But to navigate this vast space, you have to learn to take long swinging leaps from tree to tree. This little Hainan gibbon, however, doesn't seem to be very good at it. An accidental slip can result in a fall to the ground from a tree more than 10 meters high. Luckily, this was just a scare. Mom plans to give her child another lesson. Following his mother's path, the little one tries hard to imitate. The little one has stopped, seemingly hesitant. He probably still hasn't gotten over the near fall earlier. Previous studies show that many gibbon remains bear traces of broken bones. Mom stops briefly to look back and then moves on. The little guy is getting a little anxious. But if he doesn't make this step on his own, he won't survive in the rainforest. Can he muster up the courage to complete successive swinging leaps? Finally, the little guy overcomes his fear. And his life away from his mother's arms officially begins. The whole rainforest world is his oyster. Of course, he still likes to stick to his mom. The wet, rainy season is a time when the rainforest is at its most delicate and colorful, and animals of all kinds are driven to reproduce. During the rainy season, when the water level in the streams is high, the Hainan torrent frog also comes to the fore. The tips of its toes are equipped with powerful suction cups that hold it steady on the surface of rocks under fast-flowing water currents. This particular frog is very eager to get to the stream because the females are gathering there. Most frogs court at night. But the male Hainan torrent frog is eager to showcase his singing voice and begins to chirp during the day. As soon as one male frog starts chirping, his rivals are not far behind. In addition to showing who has the best singing voice, they also wave their limbs in an over-the-top and comical manner. Such movements not only can be used to drive away the blood-sucking insects on their bodies, but are also courtship dances, in which the greater range of movement, the more smitten the female will be. At the edge of the rainforest, Eld's deer are also in high spirit. Though inexperienced, the young buck is always testing the waters behind the young doe. The father gibbon also begins to show his affection for the mother gibbon, offering to clean her fur. Each type of species, in its own way, is passing down its precious way of life. While the animals are in the midst of the mating season, at the bottom of the rainforest, the smell of death spreads. Colorful fungi, which grew in dark corners overnight, feed on decaying corpses and, in some cases, take control of lives. Meanwhile, on the back of the leaves and between the branches, there are eggs laid by various insects. The little gibbon can't hold back his curiosity and goes straight for a taste of these high-calorie tasty treats. Before he's done, he makes an even more surprising discovery. A fat katydid. Gibbons tend to eat mostly wild fruit, but are not vegetarians. This time, the young gibbon boldly tastes a fresh one. Well, it seems to taste pretty good. Nutritious and high in protein, too. But in the rainforest, insects are not always the healthy food they seem to be. Some insects, even when they appear to be moving, are already effectively a zombie corpse. A praying mantis carefully combs its spikes on its forelegs, leaving no stone unturned. It's trying to avoid catching a disease in the humid conditions of the rainy season. Other than animals and plants, fungi are also eukaryotes. And there are specific species of fungi that affect the nervous system of insects. Insects frequently wash their faces, in part to avoid infection. The insect behaves abnormally, as if it were a zombie. Because its body has been taken over by fungi. Fungi control everything it does now, and its life will soon come to an end. It stops at a branch and ceases to move. Fungi will leave the body once they have accomplished their mission, then release spores and reproduce. This is the most colorful landscape of death in the rainy season. A great variety of fungi continue to decompose dead plants and animal carcasses at the bottom of the rainforest, helping nutrient elements to quickly return to the soil, which in turn are absorbed by the trees of the rainforest, nourishing the thousands of lives that exist here, with energy circulating through this subtle system. The winds are changing, and nature's gentleness is about to take a very violent turn, which presents a new test for the gibbons. The Pacific monsoon season brings a special gift to Hainan's tropical rainforests: typhoons. Abundant rainfall infiltrates every corner of the rainforest, opening up a new chapter in the lives of all living organisms. In the undergrowth, there are many more little lives just waiting for the gifts of the season. The northern tree shrew spends a lot of time in shrubs and under fallen leaves. Early in the morning, it starts looking for food. The northern tree shrew is not a picky eater. Bugs and wild fruits are its go-to food. And when it gets really hungry, even leaves can be consumed to satisfy its hunger. But this season has an unmistakable lure, hanging high up in the trees, out of reach. The just-ripened hairy lychee is a seasonal specialty not to be missed. For the gibbon family, it's that time of year when they can enjoy some peace and quiet. As soon as they wake up, they can get into buffet eating mode in the trees around them. The little one is very happy to have a rare taste of such a juicy and sweet fruit. The abundant supply has raised the standard of gibbon cuisine even higher. This particular hairy lychee doesn't seem to meet the young gibbon's taste requirement. He quickly spits it out. It's time. The northern tree shrew is ready to venture out quietly to receive the treats that fell from the sky. But it's timid and sensitive by nature, and when it hears the gibbons chirping, it panics and hides. Finally, the well-fed gibbons quieten down and begin to groom each other's fur. The parents want to find a taller tree to go and have a good rest. And one by one, the little ones follow. This is the moment the northern tree shrew has been waiting for. Its patience finally pays off. Nothing goes to waste in the rainforest. Foraging by gibbons and northern tree shrews enables the seeds of plants to be carried and dispersed over long distances. A very active chestnut white-bellied rat is on a similar mission. But its movement is being restricted by a variety of snakes in the rainy season. A brown-spotted pit piper lurks silently in the undergrowth. The tongue is used to sense the different odors in the air. It knows that a potential prey is about to pass by. The chestnut white-bellied rat reacts quickly and seemingly escapes danger. The brown-spotted pit piper has a triangular head shaped like a spear. It is a well-known poisonous snake in China. Just 48 milligrams of its venom can kill a person. The venom is gradually destroying the chestnut white-bellied rat's blood clotting factors, causing it to bleed profusely from its organs. Not in a hurry, the snake crawls towards its dinner, following the scent of the rat. The snake's body is thin and long, so it needs to dislocate its jawbone to open its mouth wide enough to swallow its meal. Mealtime goes on for about half an hour. And this is when it's at its most exposed and vulnerable. Hunting may not be a challenge for the brown-spotted pit piper, but enjoying its meal is certainly a gamble. Once the chestnut white-bellied rat is swallowed whole, the snake quickly rushes away to find its hiding place so that the rat can be slowly digested. Predators like the brown-spotted pit piper effectively control the rodent population in the rainforest, and to some extent, protect the trees inhabited by the gibbons from encroachment. They are very active during the rainy season, as it is warm all year round and snakes in Hainan's rainforest hardly ever hibernate. But as rainfall decreases and the barren dry season approaches, they actively reduce their consumption and go out less frequently. Affected by the monsoon climate, the seasons in Hainan's tropical rainforests are divided into rainy and dry. Precipitation is continuing to decrease. They may be called rainforests, but the dry season in the area can last as long as 5 months. A female gibbon is pregnant. There is no longer any food left in the forest to feed the gibbons. It's time to seek pastures new. The little one rushes to keep up with his parents, without knowing the challenges that lie ahead. For the little gibbon, it is also his first long-distance journey in which he has to rely on his own physical ability to complete it. It's hard to say if he will make it. The dry season is in full swing, and Formosa sweet gum trees in the secondary forest have taken on a brownish-red color, but many leaves have already withered and drifted away, filling dry streams. The gibbon family finally discovers an area with food. They find fruit-laden groves, where the little ones can replenish themselves after such physical exertion. Dad inadvertently notices something is not right. A crested serpent eagle is circling the area, looking for prey. Mom has also been alerted to the danger. Big Brother hides under the thick foliage. But Mom does not have the youngest gibbon in her sights. The little guy is too busy eating fruit to notice anything unusual. For adult gibbons, crested serpent eagles don't pose a deadly threat. But it's hard to say the same for baby gibbons. Dad is also wary of making big movements so as not to attract the attention of the eagle. The little one finally notices his parents' anxious demeanor and learns to hide. This crested serpent eagle seems not to have noticed them and eventually flies away. The little guy is finally back with his family. That was quite a scare. The dry season for Asian weaver ants is a suitable time for construction. Creating a new home is never easy. Some Asian weaver ants have separated from their old family and migrated to a new tree. They are going to use leaves to build a new home on a branch 7 to 8 meters high. The Asian weaver ants team up and divide the work in a well-organized manner, pulling and tugging pieces of leaves to form a continuous wall. They communicate with each other through pheromones. Building a super project like this takes coordination, organization, and precision. Constructing a new home requires every ant to work together. There's no I in team. For the gibbons, on the other hand, it requires self-reliance and independence. The gibbon big brother is already an adult, but still plays with his younger brothers as if he were still a kid. Today, Dad has finally seen enough and puts a stop to the siblings' playtime. Big brother doesn't seem to know what he's done wrong and hides in another tree. Lately, he can feel his father marginalizing him. He's now 6 years old. Around this age, gibbons are driven out of their families to become independent, so that they can meet females from other groups and form new families. But Big Brother doesn't seem to be ready for such a step. Instead, he stays close to his family, but from a distance. On the lower branches, the new home of Asian weaver ants is already taking shape, and the construction has entered the second stage. The worker ants, carrying the baby ants, run back and forth on the leaves. The young ants start to secrete a high concentration of mucus, connecting two leaves firmly together. At the beginning of their lives, these ant babies are already pulling their weight for the whole family. Finely crafted, a tightly wrapped kingdom in the trees has finally been completed. The extreme rainforest habitat harbors remarkable creativity. And every species that calls this home is a powerhouse of natural selection. The gibbon big brother is becoming more and more distant from his family and is gradually getting used to being on his own. It may take a while for him to understand the reasoning behind this. The dry season is coming to an end. The edge of the rainforest is adorned with strikingly radiant red flowers on the branches of red silk cotton trees, which bloom during winter. The little gibbon finds himself on branches of a red silk cotton tree, indulging in this unique delicacy. At some point, Big Brother left the family. This is the stage when gibbons truly gain their independence. Soon, this young gibbon will also have to find his place in the world. The gibbon family numbers haven't diminished, however. During the dry season that just passed, Mom gave birth to another little one. The young gibbon is very curious about the newborn baby, and in the near future, this new big brother will play and leap through the trees with his baby brother. This newborn baby gibbon is a precious new hope, not only for this gibbon family, but for all Hainan gibbons. He too will one day have to learn how to thrive in this rainforest. The thousands of lives in Hainan's rainforests are exquisite masterpieces of nature. This environment of extreme competition has produced diverse life forms that possess extraordinary survival wisdom. Hainan Tropical Rainforest National Park's purpose is to preserve this precious paradise. All life is an important link in this tight ecological chain, and that includes ourselves. People have been living here for generations and are utilizing the latest technology to guard the balance and harmony of rainforest ecology. This is a wonderful home that we and all life share.